Good evening. Welcome to the August Studio City Neighborhood Council outreach meeting. It is roughly 7:04. I'll just round up to 7:04. Roll call. Brandon Marino here. Karen Sorrow.
Here.
Sherry Kessel is excused. Terry Austin.
Here.
Julie Houlihan is excused. Ira Gold.
Here.
Okay. For 6, we have a quorum. Item number 2, on August 1st, I sent out the July meeting minutes along with the agenda. If there are no objections, I will pass it without objection. Are there any objections?
Nope.
Updates by the committee chair. Then I see the hands up. We'll get to public comments. That'll be item 4. We're on item 3 right now. No. Okay, the National Night Out recap that happened this past Tuesday. It's pretty good. Turned out all right. NoHo was there. NoHo West was there. Greater Toluca Lake was represented by one person. We had a tent there. Quite a few police officers were there, and it was kind of a dry run for something that might be better next year. Obviously, we had some issues with the LA City Clerk. We weren't the only ones. NoHo did as well in terms of approving things for this event. Next year, we'll just run it through the 501c3, through the LAPD, through their PALS setup, and then they can get everything, and then we can circumvent all the rules and regulations of the LA City Council, not City Council, LA Clerk. Legally, of course, we can do that. So it was quite a few people, and I think everyone had a good time. We talk about website. We're still working on the website. The new website has been up for some time, but not a lot of things, not everything migrated over from the old site to the new site. Scott pointed out something that not all the meeting minutes for the board meetings are on the new site. Those have to be manually migrated over from the old site to the new site. Some were, some weren't. So we're going to get on Web Corner about that, and we paid them $2,500 for this migration. They should be doing it themselves, not me. So we'll get on that. Website photo contest. If you go to the homepage, there is a photo contest. Submit it to me, bmarino at studiocitync.org. It's going to be running until September 12th, giving people plenty of time to get on that. Outside of that, there's really nothing more I can comment on. So we'll go to item 4. Public comments on non-agenda items within the committee's jurisdiction. We're not talking about little green men on Mars. We're talking about stuff only pertinent to the outreach committee. If accessing the meeting by phone, please use *9 to raise hand and *6 to unmute. Each speaker will have 2 minutes. And I'll be generous with the 2 minutes. You can go over a little bit, but not too much. So we will get started with Lionel. Lionel, I believe. Is that your name? I'll ask you to unmute. Once I hear your voice, your 2 minutes will begin.
Okay, thank you, board member. My name is Lionel. I'm from Sun Valley. Here to make public comment to inform you that on Sunday, August 21st, Ciclavia will be hosting the Meet the Hollywoods event, expanding from East Hollywood, beginning on Virgil, and to West Hollywood, ending at San Vicente. So I encourage your neighborhood council to spread the word to your constituency, to your neighbors, to your colleagues, friends of friends, because it's expected to be a big event, very popular event, Meet the Hollywood. The last time we held this event was in 2019, before the pandemic. So if you could please notify, because I know Studio City is not that far from Hollywood. So you could take the red line from Universal City Station and exit on Hollywood Highland, or that's one way of getting there. So yeah, I thought this would be appropriate place to inform you because of outreach. So thank you for your time. Thanks.
Could you line up for you? Can you email us either smandel@studiocitync.org or bmarino@studiocitync.org if there's any link to a website or any kind of information that we can use to promote this on our social media? Or just go to our website and just email any of us, and that'd be fantastic. If you can do that, could you do that? Cool? Okay. Fantastic. Next up will be Goat Puppet. Goat Puppet, you'll have 2 minutes once I hear your voice, or the goat's voice. Go right ahead.
Yes. Forgot to take public comment, that's all. I'm going to tell Randy about your violation. He's going to turn you in. Oh, I agree with that. Yes, that's right. And we're here to know when you fuck up, and when you fuck up. What about why they fuck up? Well, they fuck up because they're on a power grab, yes. And when you asked for me to be present, you muted me with your special computer trick. Yes, you gave me a microphone and I pressed it, and some asshole's blocking.
Goat Puppet, point of order. We're speaking about stuff that is within the committee's jurisdiction.
Well,
You have something to offer.
The way you're running this meeting illegally. And I thought it would take a few months for you to start abusing your power. But it's begun now, hasn't it? Just another Trump, just another Putin, yes. Another Nancy Pelosi. That's what I'm looking at now. The only difference is that you're not capable of being able to steal enough money to be on a private jet. You have to learn how to do that, like Nancy Pelosi does, yes. Legally stealing. Oh, of course it's legal. Anything's legal, as long as you have the dollars in it. So, how are we going to outreach tonight? Are we going to talk about the National Night Out and how all of you went and kissed up to the cops? Oh, yeah. It's very disgusting to watch the kissing up to the cops. I boycotted the event this year and
10 seconds, Go Puppet.
solidarity with my revolutionary brothers and sisters of BLM. I'm proud of you. Thank you. See, I'm an asshole with integrity, unlike you assholes.
All right, that's 2 minutes. Thank you very much, Goat Puppet. We have Barry Johnson. Go right ahead.
Hi, just wanted to say I thought having the several neighborhood councils at one national night out was a great idea. I know I would suggest to CD2 that if they want to continue this trend to maybe alternate between where they held it and next year maybe North Hollywood Park, which is, you know, I understand Whitsett and Van Owen, but it's a little far north for our stakeholders. And I think North Hollywood Park might be a little more central for all the different neighborhood councils that participated. But I think, you know, we didn't have a lot of people from Studio City there, and a little further south, we might get more, I believe. But otherwise, I thought it was a good event. Thanks.
Thank you, Barry. Any other hands for public comments on non-agenda items within the committee's jurisdiction? There are none, so we'll move on to item 5, possible presentation by public officials. I don't see any public officials here, so we'll skip 5 and go, well, we'll move on from 5 and go to 6. Farmers Market, discussion only, no action item. Late August Farmers Market set up to promote the SCNC as well as September movie night with CD4. I was in contact with Esther, who's the management of Farmers Market, and we set a date for August 21st. It's, I think it's a better date than the other option, which would be August 10th. It's closer to the movie night, which will be September, I believe it's September 10th or 17th. I think it's the 10th. It is the 10th because it's just before National Hispanic Heritage Month starts up, which would be on the 15th. So it's within that range where we can promote it without people forgetting about it. So it's going to be August 21st. We're going to have an all-day setup over there like we did prior. And if anybody has any discussions about this, public discussions on this, we are discussing the farmers market August setup. That is all we're discussing. So if there's any public members of the public who would like to weigh in on this, you'll have 2 minutes, and we will begin with Goat Puppet. Goat Puppet, your 2 minutes will begin the moment I hear your voice. I've asked you to unmute. I'll ask you again. There you are. Go right ahead.
Where the hell have you been? Fuck you been? Oh, I'm right here. Yeah. So again, see my way of outreaching. Yes, if you were paying attention on the screen, you can see the secret of our corrupt society. Now, as you saw on the screen, are the poor people in Skid Row getting that deal? What deal? Oh, I didn't know you were there. What are you talking about? Are you fucking with my... Oh, no, not me. No. But
Point of order, Goat Puppet. We're talking about farmers market. Let's stay on topic here, please.
Well, asshole, what were the coupons that I showed?
I wasn't paying attention. Please continue.
No, you weren't paying attention, but you're trying to be like Alex Jones under oath. Yes, very evasive. Well, I pointed out that you can go and you can buy all of your lovely farmers' foods for 50% off if you just know where to go. Yes. And I showed you the secret. But you're not paying attention. That's the problem with Brandon. Yes. Scott's not that way. He's sneaky. He studies everything. And you could be doing the same thing. What about giving people discount coupons paid for by your neighborhood council so that poor people can buy more shit for less money? That would be a way to avoid the gift card exemption. It's not the city clerk that's giving you the problem. No, it's all in your mind. That's why you
Got 10 seconds, Goat Puppet.
Right. You're a failure. And I'm going to tell Randy Fried Chicken about this. He knows you're a failure too. Really?
And your 2 minutes are up. Thank you very much. Any other members of the public who would like to weigh in on our farmers market event on August 21st? Nobody? Let me lower his hand. Lionel, go right ahead. Let me unmute you. Your 2 minutes will begin once I hear your voice.
Yeah, I enjoy going to the Studio City Farmers Market. I go there regularly. That's where I get my produce somewhat. I guess that's the nearest farmers market to where I live.
We met you there once. Was that you? Yeah, I remember that.
So I do encourage any kind of social activities, promoting the neighborhood council, engaging with your community, with the people, showing them that you care, that you're there to represent, to hear their concerns. Yeah, any proactive activities I encourage. Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Will that be all? Okay. All right. Any other members of the public who have yet to speak? Would like to speak on this? No? Very well, then we'll go to committee. Any committee members who'd like to weigh in on this? Any ideas that we might do differently than our last farmers market event? Anybody who would like to volunteer to set up? I'll be there.
When, is it in September, Brandon?
It's August 21st.
I can be there. Yes.
Okay.
It's a Sunday or?
It's Sunday, yes.
Yeah.
Scott, go right ahead.
I think, thank you, Brandon. I think it would be a good idea to have a better way for people to input their email address and name to sign up for our agendas and meetings and such. Maybe someone who has a tablet or something where people can actually type it. If they write it, we're probably gonna have trouble reading it. I don't know if anyone wants to let people touch a tablet, or we can figure out some kind of a way to get legible email addresses and increase our MailChimp. That's
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I've got a
Something else-
tablet.
It's something
can
I wanted to
bring.
do at National Night Out. And I just completely forgot to print out the sign-up sheets. We do have sign-up sheets, but they're from the old logo, not the new logo.
We could have both, I think, because some people won't want to use the tablet. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't
Terry,
know.
go right ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. This the 21st is the one day in the year that I might not be in town. I'm flying back in at midnight on Saturday night, and barring my flight isn't late, I don't know what time I would be able to participate. But if I get back in time, I will. I don't want anybody depending on me to be there at a certain time because it's a little bit of an unknown.
Okay.
Mhm.
Very well. Anybody else like to weigh in on this? No? Okay.
Light today, right?
Ira, go right ahead. I saw his clap, but I didn't see a raised hand yet.
It was my eyesight is, I'm getting older. My eyesight's failing me. Yeah, I think where is this going? How come let me know if my video starts working, and there we go.
There you are.
It's dark. I like what we did last time. I think you mentioned in an email that there might be or in one of the meetings, there might be a new resource book.
There is. CD2 had it yesterday. We got a couple of copies.
I'm going to take credit for that because they had no idea about it when I
know.
talked to them.
I know.
I like to indirectly take indirect credit for that.
We'll give you credit for that.
Yeah.
No, it's quite interesting. I don't know how much the city paid for it. It's really thick, but it's got a lot of great stuff in there. I don't know how many they have, but I guess we could probably comb CD4 and CD2 and try to grab a few more for the event.
Yeah, I mean, we had
Cool.
like 50 or something I think we had 50 for the last one, and I don't know how many we have left, but I know we've used it across a couple different events. So even if we were to grab maybe like 20 initially, if that's the only amount we can get, I think that'd be great. I think the same thing that we did last time would be fine. I'm curious, are we
doing elections for this? Yeah.
What?
Are we promoting elections at this?
No.
or-
This is for the
Oh.
upcoming movie night on September 10th.
Oh.
Yeah. Are we allowed to, we're not really allowed to engage in any kind of opinionated conversation, are we, on these things? We can only kind of field what people say. So I think,
Yeah.
I think-
You'll be speaking. You'll be speaking for the board if you do that. So we try
Right.
to refrain from doing that.
but not just that, but even what about committee members? Because they're not board members. They'd be more free to be able to. Does it extend to committee members as well?
I would think anybody who's sitting at the SCNC tent would be associated with the Studio City Neighborhood Council, and if they engage in any kind of political discussion, it would be connected to the SCNC. So it would be. I would advise against it because it just seems like the LA City Council has a free reign to say and do whatever they want, but we don't.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Interesting.
very interesting. They
Yeah.
can pretty much do whatever they like, but the rules don't apply to them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No bitterness here, but just one of those deals where if you have to think about it, if there's some doubt, be on the safe side, choose the safe route, and don't say anything. But you, like you said, you can field questions and say, yeah, we'll write this down and we'll bring this to the appropriate committee, or go to our website and fill out a form, an agenda request form if you really want something on the agenda. That's something that maybe I can print out. How to request agenda. I can do that. I can probably print out a really quick black and white thing and make a few copies here and have them at the table. Any other member of this committee who would like to weigh in on this? Again, this is going to be August 21st, all day. I don't know if Nazarian's office is going to be there. They mentioned in the last board meeting that Adrian Nazarian will be present at a Sunday Studio City Farmers Market. They did not mention which date. So it would be interesting if we were both there at the same time, but I doubt that's going to happen. I think they want one of us there one week and one at the other week. So, oh well. Can't have everything, can we? That being said, we will move on. If no one has anything else, no other committee member has anything else to say about 6, we will move on to 7. Giveaways, discussion whittling down options for a September motion to be presented to the board regarding Studio City Neighborhood Council branded swag that can be used to promote signups to our newsletter as well as offsite exposure of the SCNC. Items must have a per unit wholesale cost of approximately $1 before shipping and handling, must be branded with the Studio City Neighborhood Council logo or website, and must adhere to city clerk guidelines. These giveaways should last us into the next year as we add more public events to our calendar. I have a couple of
Ideas?
ideas. Pardon me?
Cool.
Yeah, I have a
Ideas.
couple of ideas for you. Let me share my screen here. This is just one website. It doesn't have to be this website. But a couple of ideas. Whistle key rings. If you look at the, I don't want to get a ton of them because it would cost a lot of money, but the per unit cost, $303.99, is 94 cents. It's well within the $1 range, but the city clerk's not going to have an aneurysm. And by the way, anybody who's at National Night Out, if you went to the North Hollywood West booth, they had quite a few things over there. I couldn't believe how much swag they had. So if they were allowed, and they might have carried a lot over from, they might have had a lot of this before COVID. So who knows how much they had in their storage shed. But something like this, the poker chips would piss off the city. I'm only putting it here just because giving away poker chips would infuriate the city clerk and everyone else doing it just for the heck of it, but probably not. Neoprene wrist straps for, like, if you're running around and you have your keys, you can put them on your wrist while you're exercising. That's a pretty good idea. And this is also under $1 in bulk, 249 of them. Tote bags, of course, are always a pretty inexpensive option. Though these are kind of expensive, I could probably find a better one. It's a lot cheaper. Stress relieving balls. With the way the economy is going and the way life is, everyone's got stress. And this is just one version of several designs that we can get with our logo on there. So, you know, if you're upset at the Studio City Neighborhood Council, like Goat Puppet always is, you could take your Studio City Neighborhood Council ball and just squeeze it over and
I think
over
it's
and over
perfect.
and over and over
It's
again.
perfect.
Yes, Goat
Yeah.
Puppet has his own stress relieving ball. Though I'm sorry, I used a pronoun on that goat. I don't know if it's a male or a female. They have a stress relieving ball. My apologies. Again, good old keychains. Can't go wrong there. Everyone's got keys. This is something that North Hollywood West had. They had these collapsible fans. They're a little pricey, but this is only one site. They all do the same thing. All these promo sites have the same stuff. They all source it from the same wholesalers or same warehouses. But NoHo West had these, and I thought they were pretty cool. But we will get these probably by the time the summer ends and weather starts cooling down, so I don't see the point of these. But I just wanted to put them here just because NoHo West had them. So, again, they have to be $1 or less, or the city clerk will probably shoot this back and say, too expensive. Again, these have to be branded with the studiocitync.org website or our logo or both, because it has to be exclusively ours. I know Scott has a couple of cool things from Sherman Oaks, and I don't know how they got them under $1 unless they bought 1,000 of them. But I think it's that multi-tool you have. Looks pretty expensive, but maybe the city clerk had different rules back then. I wish Niederberg was here; he would know. But anything that's a little too expensive for the LA City Clerk's taste, they will shoot it right back and say, no, no, no. So it has to be cheap. We have to have enough of them. And also, it must extend us into the next year, which means it has to be applicable for fall, winter, and spring. So like I said, those fans probably won't work in the winter. No one would want them. But something that would work in all months, all seasons up until next year. So that being said, we will go to public comments. You'll have 2 minutes from the moment I hear your voice, starting with Goat Puppet. Go right ahead.
Yes. So, as you see, I have a couple of my favorite swag. Yes, there's my Earth Day ball. Yes, I went there to that event and I told them, fuck Earth Day. And they gave me this ball and I don't know, I started squeezing it. Yes, and it was reducing my stress. Yes, an excellent tool. And then we have this thing here. Ah, look at that. A large paper clip. Yes. Recommended strongly for people like Jose Weezar that have a need for that. A lot of cash, I heard that Weezar used a lot of these, the rumor is. So we'll find out at his trial. Brought to you by Beetle Bailey. Yes, Glenn Bailey. He created that. Look at that. It's really one of the nicer ones. 3 years ago, and it still works. Now, one of the most pressing items that I get a request for are lighters and matches. We seem to have a lot of people who like to light up. Legally, of course, yes. And we would like to have Studio City NC lighters. Imagine people getting these lighters and you could hand them out rather than going to the convenience store at Circle K and them other places and paying $3, $4 for a goddamn lighter. What a ripoff, huh? Terrible, yes. But we could be making your own branded lighters. And then everybody can
10 seconds.
And when they smoke their bud and the dope gives you hope, they'll be thinking of you in a positive light. Yeah.
All right, your 2 minutes are up. Anybody else would like to chime in on agenda item 7? Who did we lose? We still have a quorum here. We do. Karen, me. Yes, we do. Okay. Peter backed. I just wanted to see if we had a quorum or not. Peter left. Anybody else would like to chime in on this? No? Okay, we'll go to committee comments. Anybody from the committee who would like to make suggestions as to what we might be able to get? We will start with Ira. Go right ahead.
Thank you. So yeah, just I'm not a huge fan of tchotchkes, but or giveaways. But if we do, I mean, we're going to do them. It's great to do them. I would maybe ask. You know, I wouldn't say I'm an environmental activist, but I would ask if we could do something lean towards things that are not just going to end up on the floor or at the corner where the LEDWP is with all the other trash and stuff that people throw away. You know, as boring as those tote bags are, I think those things are usable, and I keep them for years and I use them. Mm-hmm. You know, things like that, things like neoprene, things that just don't really degrade. Again, I'm not like super hardcore into an environmental activist, but I think I would like to avoid seeing anything just kind of get tossed out into the park, on the ground, or the street. Mm-hmm. And so anything maybe a little more meaningful, or things that we could actually reuse. Thanks.
Very well. Anybody else from this committee who would like to chime in on this? Any ideas?
Sure.
Yeah, go right
I
ahead.
kind of agree with that. Yeah, I agree with him on that. Yeah, I think that's good. With Ira, yeah.
And the idea here is we're talking about it right now so we get it in everyone's mind. If you come across one of these promotional sites and you see something that's about $1, I would think that it wouldn't be like 1,000 of them. We're not going to spend $1,000 on this, but maybe like 500 of them, 600 of them. I don't know. It depends how many events we're going to have. Again, I have not been on this committee. I have not been on this board when we had a year's worth of public events. I'm a COVID baby. when it comes to this board. Most of us are. We were elected during COVID. So I don't know. I can go back to our past, our Facebook page, whatnot. And even then, over the past several years prior to the pandemic, there weren't a lot of records being kept on our social medias regarding events. I guess we maybe had 4 or 5 of them over the years, per year. Luminaria is coming up. That's a big one. Farmers Market's always available to us. Movie nights. These aren't going to be available for our movie night, but I'm looking as the world opens up to have more and more events and get out there in the public, especially if we're not going to, either we're going to have some kind of a weird hybrid system for these meetings, or we're going to meet in person. Obviously, this can't be passed out at board meetings, but getting out there into the thick of things where the people congregate is always the best idea. And having something to offer them, it was interesting when NoHo West, they went through their swag pretty quickly. And everybody loves a freebie. And it's unfortunate in our modern times that somebody just won't sign up for a newsletter for a neighborhood council because they want to be informed. They're going to want something in return. Again, that's just the way we are as a society. And if we can get a bunch of stuff for like 60 cents a piece, 50 cents a piece, I think engaging a stakeholder, getting them involved for 50 cents isn't a bad deal, to be honest with you. And there's your Studio City mask. Out to cause mischief, Scott? I'm going to go out there right now. No one will know who I am, even though I'm wearing a Studio City Neighborhood Council mask. Terry, you have something to add? Terry? Go right
Yes,
ahead.
can you hear? Okay, 2 things. Number one, are we getting only things for adults? Or, and did I hear you say that this flag will not be available for the movie night where there will be a lot of children? So are we looking for just something for adults?
Yeah, it's not, September 10th is, hold on, let me just make sure. Because I keep saying September 10th. Let me really quickly look at this. It is September 10th, yes. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get anything going by September 10th. I mean, the next the next outreach, even if it's the next outreach meeting is the first week of September, this has to go beyond to the board, which will be after movie night. So even after that, then it has to be approved by the city clerk. So we're probably not going to, we're looking at sometime in October or November getting this stuff and getting ready for the fall push.
Okay.
For obviously Luminaria is coming up in December. I
Mhm.
believe it's the first week of December.
Okay.
Right.
December 2nd or 3rd, I think, or something like that.
So my
Um,
question would be like, are we thinking of having like 2 kinds of gift, one's for adults and one's for kids? And then I always think for things that always can be used, and again, nothing, this is not earth-shaking news, but I always think that magnets are great because a lot of people, myself included, put things on their fridge or other message boards with magnets. And magnets you can put information on that's pretty clear and it remains somewhere usually that people are seeing it on a regular basis. So it's a good place to put the website or something like that. So my vote is always for magnets, and whether there was going to be an adult and a child prize, because to your point, Brandon, it is, it's always great to have something to give away because it attracts people. But if it is too much like what everyone else has, then people don't take it. And that's why I think that NoHo West did so well, because they had something that people actually want. And I personally think that I have enough bags, although, and I use them, but I don't take them from any table anymore because I've got enough grocery type reusable bags. And the same goes for keychains. That's just my 2 cents. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Ira, go ahead.
Thank you. That's a great, the magnets, I'm totally down with magnets. So I don't know if this would fall under the price restriction, but I'm covering the top portion, but I actually use these, let me know when the video starts working. I don't know what's going on. Is the audio coming through?
I hear you. I hear you. I don't see
Okay.
you.
Yeah, I got a spinning wheel. Oh, there we
There you
go.
are.
So this is like important. I'm just covering up the business stuff, but like that kind of thing. It has um,
Is
like
that the one? Is that the one with a notepad up top?
no,
Okay.
no, it's actually a good quality magnet. Like it's got the local fire station, the non-emergency number for the local police station. It has the American Association of Poison Control Center, how to report a pothole, right? So I use these for business, and I think if these are things that people keep, and as long as it's like an actual stainless steel or metal refrigerator or appliance, it'll stick. And if
Will it
not,
stick on stainless steel?
I think they stick on stainless steel. I don't know. They
Say that 10 times fast.
I'm really good at tongue twisters. They stick on they'll stick on anything with tape. So
Okay.
but I think that's a great idea if it falls within our budget.
All right. I'm gonna live dangerously here, because if I let Barry talk, then I have to let Goat Puppet talk again. So let's go ahead and do it. Why not? Barry Johnson, go right ahead. Barry? There you are. Barry?
Can you hear me?
Yes, you have 2 minutes. Go right ahead.
All I was going to say is all the stuff you're talking about, we really limit that kind of stuff at the Luminaria. So don't be, because the Luminaria is its own kind of special event. So don't be buying stuff just with that in mind. That's all.
Yeah, it's got its own budget.
Okay. All right. Goat Puppet, you have 2 minutes. When I hear your voice, go right ahead.
That's right. See, part of the problem with these bags, and I have many of them, you don't see them here now, do you? Where did they go? Well, they start disintegrating after a while because they're made out of cheap shit. That's why. And we don't like that. However, I still have a canvas bag from CD14 from Team Wazar. And it's still good to this day because he made things with quality. When he had swag, he knew how to put on a good show. He didn't give you cheap shit, he gave you good stuff. Well, he had all that Chinese money. Well, that's true, but he had to buy it from the same purveyors of cheapness that you buy. You have to buy good stuff, like with the stuff Glenn Bailey bought when I just showed you that clip. You have to find out, where are they getting this stuff from? How come it lasts? And how come your stuff doesn't last? Like that ball. That ball is 3-4 years old, and it's still as good, even though I try to gnaw on it when Mr. Know-It-All doesn't see me and I play with his ball and I'm trying to chew it, nom, 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 and it still survives. Leave my ball alone. Oh, I didn't know you were there, sir. I was just being anecdotal. Sorry about that, fucking asshole. What? Oh, I'll have dinner soon, sir. Oh, okay. Yeah, so anyway, that's the reason why we have to be here with you. Show you what good swag looks like.
10 seconds.
You've never seen such pretty swag. My examples, and I have more. But Brendan won't give me more time, and Scott won't to show you the rest of it.
And that is time. So, let's see. Barry, did you no, Barry had his hand up before, so I will lower it. Did anybody else wish to weigh in on this before I go back to committee? Nobody? Very well. Second round of committee. Anybody else from the committee who would like to weigh in on this? No? Very well. Then we will move on. Oh, I had 2 8s. Oh well. Discussion of possible future agenda items for outreach consideration. Anybody who'd like to weigh in, both public and committee, regarding things that may perhaps we could put on the agenda for future consideration. And obviously, we will hold on. Well, we'll go to the farm animal, goat puppet. You'll have 2 minutes. The moment I hear your voice.
Yes.
All right, go right ahead.
That's right. A proud farm animal, by the way, who promotes the eating of fresh fruits and vegetables for our hearty meal. And that, of course, Brandon will go get his Mickey D's and ignore my advice. Yeah. But we have some nice things coming up for the city. For example, in November, we're going to get to see Mark Ridley Thomas face against the FBI. Yay! I thought that
Goat
was
puppet, are these the future agenda items for outreach consideration?
Yes, but you don't want to have any meetings about the FBI case against these city council members? I'm surprised.
I don't think we're allowed to do that, and that would be
Yes, I
a
think
government
so.
affairs thing.
I think it's very important. But when you were in the opposition, you were all for it. But now you're in the majority party. Now you want to cover up City Hall's criminals, don't you? Yeah. And imagine if they sentence them to 20 years, watch the sentencing. So November. And then, of course, in February next year, the Grand Poobah. United States of America versus Jose Luis Huizar. Yes. Yes, we're in very exciting time. And you can do it for free. You don't have to have a mask. You don't even have to have a COVID card. You can just go to the First Street and Broadway and go into the pretty Federal Building. It's available to the public, no charge, yes. Seating is limited, and you should have a meeting about it, several meetings, so we can discuss these issues.
At 10 seconds.
Why are city council so fucking stupid to steal so much money when they could steal it legally like Nancy Pelosi?
3, 2,
It's very important to limit our law.
and that's your 2 minutes. Any other members of the public who'd like to weigh in on possible future agenda items for outreach consideration? Let me lower a goat's hoof. There we go. Lionel, go right ahead. Once I hear your voice, you'll have 2 minutes.
Yes, one last thing. Maybe I will start, if you could consider you and your committee members to maybe ask Nithya Rahman, your council member, to maybe promote a future Ciclavia event somewhere in the Studio City or Universal City area. I will do my part as an individual because I think it'll be great to have one in Studio City, Burbank, or Encino, somewhere along Ventura Boulevard. Because there's a lot of small businesses. I'm pretty sure people would love to go out, bicycle, jog, take your dog. So yeah, we should have more in the valley. Thank you.
You should. Yeah, we had one a while back in North Hollywood. It was CD2. It was Krikorian was sponsoring it. It was a while back, so I guess we're due for one. But I guess if they're going to have one, it'll be the 6th Street Viaduct, since they're probably going to close that down for cars, since what's been going on over there. But yeah, we should have one. That should stretch maybe from Encino to Universal and everywhere in between. That'd be a good idea. Any other public comments on this? If not, we'll go to committee. Terry, go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, I love Cyclavia, and the last one I participated in that was in the Valley was in 2015. That's the last one I remember. But anyway, my future agenda item was we had talked about this at a few different meetings about perhaps doing a mailer that would have some of the most upcoming pertinent issues that will be happening in CD2 and Studio City, rather specifically Studio City. And there was a little discussion about having done mailers and how expensive they were and all the rest of it. But I think that's something to be hashed out. The one thing that every time I attend a event, whether it was the police event on Tuesday or the farmers market, is that the number one issue to me is that people don't know what is going on in their neighborhood and what they can do about it, whether it's traffic, whether it's development, whether it's unhoused people. So I had mentioned before that I think sending out one of those cards like all the real estate people do that are about 5 by 8 inches long and they're two-sided. A lot of information could go on those. And I know we get a lot of stuff in the mail, but if it's well done, if the graphics are good, if the information is clear and easy to read and pertinent, and I can think of 3 or max 4 issues that I would think that the majority of people would read if it came into their mailbox because it would be personal to them for where they live. So I'd like to have a discussion about putting together a budget for a mailer from outreach.
Okay. And if it's a postcard, I guess it would be postcard postage. Correct. It wouldn't be 50 something or 60 cents. It would be a lot cheaper.
No, there's nonprofit postage rates that are well below, whether it's postcard or mailing, whether, whatever kind of mail, whether it's first class mail or an envelope or whatever. Yeah. So as being a nonprofit, we would qualify for something much less.
Very well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ira, go right ahead.
Yeah, 2 things. The first one is I was talking with Scott about this for the public safety committee, but I also think it's under the purview of outreach. They're with the coyote situation that's going on. The coyotes are seemingly quite hungry, and they're now coming down into the like the Hunga Village, right? Like right there into Hunga Village. There was I was walking at 9:30 at night, and a woman who subsequently wrote to the board said, "Hey, Ira, just be my name. Hey, be careful because I was with my dog. There's a coyote that just ran across the street." So I think I think that outreach kind of touches that. I think maybe we could maybe in conjunction with the safety committee. I'm not sure that's an idea. The other thing is when we have events, how likely is it that we can put those flags up on the lighting poles on Ventura? Right? I see those things for all sorts of events. I think that would be a great way. I mean, that's how I get a lot of my information about certain events that come out. I'd love to
really quick. I want to show you something, Ira. This is actually I'm on the admin. This is from John T. Walker. This is actually a news page. I don't know what date it was, but it's basically quick tips: do not feed wildlife, hazing tools. I don't know what that is. Noisemakers, go away coyote. I'll look into this. This is old stuff, but if it's still pertinent, it was quite literally a news item on our website during the John T. Walker era, which I don't know. Some people thought it was the good old days, but I had no idea I had no idea the neighborhood council existed back then.
I think that would be great. I think that's a great idea. I think though the headline should be, in my mind, the goal is, hey, Studio City residents, coyotes are coming into the areas that they normally don't come into. So watch your dogs, watch your kids, watch anything that's little. I think that should be the headline and the eye catcher, just as a heads up. And then all the other should be supporting, of course. But I think that email looks great. Thanks.
Cool. All right. Oh, Barry, you're going to do this to me again. I'm going to have Barry. Barry, your hand is up. Go right ahead. And then once you speak, I'll give 2 minutes to Goat Puppet once again. Go right ahead, Barry. Once I hear your voice, the 2 minutes will begin. Barry? Your hand is up.
Yeah. Well, I didn't speak in the first round, so I don't know why you have to you're not giving me a second chance to speak on this.
Oh, well, I'm going back to public comments, and once I do that, everyone has a chance to speak on the public.
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
raised my hand because of something that was said after you closed it. And what I was going to say
Oh.
is that we can apply to put banners on the light post, and there's a city entity that does that. It costs a fair amount of money. Plus, we have to pay for the banners. Plus,
Well, point of information on that, you can actually go through the city council and they will cover the costs of putting the banners up, but it has to go through Nithya Raman or Paul Krikorian. I see that
Sure.
quite a bit. It's a banner program.
They don't cover the cost. They just vote to approve it being done. They do not cover the cost.
I thought they did cover the cost, but
No. And the other thing is, in Studio City, we have always said, fine on Ventura, Laurel, and Vineland, and only on Tahunga in Tahunga Village, but nowhere else, because all our other streets, Moore Park, most of Tahunga, Colfax, Whitsitt, Coldwater, all have residential on them. So we were very strong about that in the past, limiting it. And I've noticed, particularly in the CD2 section, they have forgotten about that because there's been stuff up on Moore Park that shouldn't be there. There's stuff up on Tahunga, outside of Tahunga Village right now, that shouldn't be there, all in residential streets. So, yeah, just something I've noticed. But, yeah, we have done it in the past, but you have to apply and pay, and we also have to pay for the banners.
all right. Thank you, Barry. Oh, boy. This is your lucky day, Goat Puppet. Go right ahead. Once you unmute, you'll have 2 minutes.
Yes. You have to have something on the banners that's an eye catcher. Oh, no. No. Give me a chance. I'm going to bop you on your nose. No. I swear this will be good. Yes, we should put a little BLM logo at the bottom. Yes. Because you see, in the advertising racket, you have to gain attention. And you got to have that BLM. Imagine them calling for you, but instead we'll put down 213-473-7004. Oh, that goes to Nithya. Yes, you see my point? That's right. We'll be directing all of the hatred and ridicule to her while promoting your neighborhood council at the same time. Imagine. This is a 2-for-1, isn't it? And, of course, the other human there, Barry Johnson, yes, he knows it all, doesn't he? And, of course, you know that a motion has to be passed to put up the banners. Always put a byline in there that the office holder account of the council member will cover the cost so that you don't get fleeced like a sheep. Yes, that's right. Yes, I'm not a sheep, I'm a goat. I'm a much higher being. So I know what I'm talking about, don't I? All right, I'm going to bop you. No! Ow! 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 That hurt my nose, asshole. Now, see what I have to do to engage
10
with
seconds.
this community? The sacrifices that I make for you. And it doesn't go appreciated enough in my humble opinion. Oh, I appreciate it. Yes, everyone does.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's 2 minutes. Any committee members who would like to weigh in on this for a second time? Let's see, Terry, Ira, me, and Karen. Okay, nobody? Then I will close discussion on possible future agenda items for outreach consideration. 8, adjournment. We'll just go ahead and adjourn. It's about 7:58. I will move to adjourn at 7:58. Do I have a second? That's Karen. Who said that? Yes? Okay, Karen seconds. Okay. I'll see you guys next month, and next month we'll have a motion on the agenda for the swag, for the giveaways, and hopefully a couple of other things. And we'll also be closer to farmers market, so we'll talk about it then. And until then, guys, have a good week. Take care.